This is a VCU-ACE COVID-19 resource. This Independence at Home series will cover a variety of ways to increase independence. The topic for this video is doing my own schoolwork. We will discuss the importance of structure and routine during this time and finding what works for you so you can be successful and independent at home. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic event, many students are now learning from home, and many parents and caregivers are also working from home. With so many rules, routines, and other changes happening so quickly for parents and children, now is a good time to develop better habits at home, including independence with schoolwork. Now that you are not in a classroom with set start and end times, or with a teacher who provides a lot of direction on what to do and how to do it, you will need to learn new ways to adjust and be more independent at home. Some ways you can adjust quickly is by learning a new routine, making a new schedule, and learning different ways of working independently on a variety of tasks and activities. This may feel overwhelming, especially with everything that is happening in all of our communities. But you can do this. You really can. But you will have to be more determined, and you will have to use a variety of different tools. You can use this time at home to work on skills that will help you be more independent, no matter what happens next. Self-determination is a really important piece of learning to do things on your own. Self-determination means that you have some control over your life and your future. Self-determination also includes believing in yourself. Being more independent is a part of self-determination and is important for everyone. Independence at home can include making your own snacks or meals, doing your own chores, and doing your own schoolwork on your own at home. Self-determination involves things like solving problems, such as asking yourself questions like, how do I get started on this project? Or what are all the steps to get this task done? Another key concept of self-determination is self-advocacy. You may have to self-advocate and say, I need a quiet space to work. Let's look at some things that you can do to help you become more independent at doing your own schoolwork while at home. Let's start with routines. Your routines at home may usually be more relaxed after school and on the weekends. You may be used to coming home from school, doing some homework, and then playing games online, listening to music, watching TV, or hanging out with friends. But with school at home for now, you have to rethink what you do during the day. Learning a new routine and staying in a routine will help you feel better and will help you get things done. With the right routine at home, you can get all the same things that you might get done in a classroom, done at home. Ask your family to help you structure your new routines because your parents and siblings may also have new routines that they need to do right now too. Visual schedules can also help you structure your day and will help you stay in a new routine. There are many ways to make a visual schedule to remind you what classes have assignments or what deadlines are coming up. Use what works for you. You can use really simple schedules or you can go high tech. Some people like it plain and simple, and some people enjoy using technology. Everyone is different, and what helps will also be different. No matter what type of schedule you decide to use, place it where you will see it and use it. A schedule doesn't help if it's buried in a drawer. When you see your schedule every day, you can check off what you did and see what's happening next. Who the fuck is driving a fucking semi down my road? Some people might prefer to use something like a clipboard, a piece of paper with different subjects, and a quick check mark when they are done. The subject areas that the person will complete that day are on the right-hand side, and the column of boxes on the left-hand side can be checked off when each subject is completed. This is very simple and very easy to make. Some people prefer a more colorful schedule that they can place in a commonly used area like in the kitchen or in the refrigerator, so they can see what's next every time they grab a snack or a drink. Other people prefer to use a planner that helps them schedule a month at a time. This is helpful for students with a lot of different assignments in different classes or in classes where there may be a lot due throughout the whole month. And other people really enjoy using technology and like to use schedules on their tablets, their computers, and their smartphones. Some like to use smart home features like Google or Alexa to remind them about upcoming tasks. You can use some of these schedules, or you can combine them based on what you need. Let's watch a quick video on preparing for independence with a teenager who is learning new routines and schedules due to COVID-19. So Ewan, we have a busy week coming up.
Oh.
And with me working at home and you being a virtual student, things are going to get a little crazy.
Yeah.
And so we need to coordinate our schedules.
Okay.
And when I have meetings or days that are really busy for me, you need to kind of step up to the plate and kind of remind yourself about different classes that you have online or appointments that you might have with your teachers online. So
okay.
If you kind of look at the schedule here on mine, I have a really big meeting on Monday, and you have math that day. So you actually may want to write that into your big calendar.
Math. And that's at 1 p.m., right?
I believe it's at 1, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So, and then on Wednesday, I also have a lot to do on Wednesday, and you have history.
Okay.
So you may want to write history in too.
That's at 2, correct?
2, yeah.
Thank you.
And then I'm also really busy on Friday. I have a lot of meetings and things that are due on Friday, and I won't really have a lot of time. And I believe you have chemistry.
What time is that at?
I think that's at 3.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So now that you have like your schedule on your calendar, what are some ways besides like your calendar that you might, because you're not always looking in your planner, right?
No.
Like,
I mean, off the top of my head, I could say maybe a Post-it note.
Okay, so like where would you put your Post-it note though that it might remind you to check your schedule or?
So mostly areas that I go frequently. So that would be like my door, the fridge, maybe on my monitor, maybe on.
I think those are good.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
If it were something like you're brushing your teeth or something, maybe you want to put on the bathroom mirror. But for school stuff, I would definitely say like your computer monitor or your desk would be a really good one. So yeah, you could definitely use a Post-it note
and let me actually write that down.
Do that for math. Now, when would you put that on your computer?
I'd probably put a schedule thing there.
Would you put this on there like the night before?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
maybe probably even the day before.
Yeah.
Just so I don't forget.
So what's another way that you could remind yourself to put the Post-it note on your computer?
What?
What's another way to remind yourself to put your Post-it note on your monitor?
Oh, I mean, I could do I could use Alexa.
You could totally use Alexa, yeah. So set a reminder that you put it on there Sunday night.
Alexa, set a reminder to place my Post-it note on Sunday night.
What time tomorrow night should I remind you?
That should be at around 8 p.m.
Okay, I'll remind you tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And another way that you could kind of remind yourself too, like the whole week, because you have your planner that's for really a whole month. You could kind of look each week of some things that are coming up, and so you could just put math on here.
Okay, and then I could put, history.
History on Wednesday.
And chemistry on Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
It's convenient.
And then this is magnetic, and so
that could be put on the fridge or on my my erasable whiteboard.
Your erasable whiteboard is probably where I would put it, because then you're seeing it like several places, right?
Okay.
So you get an Alexa reminder to put your Post-it note on your computer.
Okay.
And then this is kind of near your bed, so as you're going to bed each night or waking up, your whiteboard is right there, and so you
Okay.
could look at that. And then of course you're going to look at your calendar, kind of once a month or maybe even once a week. But you need all these other little reminders to kind
Okay.
of keep you going. And that would help you be more independent, and you wouldn't need me to remind you, when things are coming up.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. I'm gonna check my schedule real quick. Alexa, check my calendar.
Your next 4 events are: today at 1 p.m. there's Math Zoom session. At 4 p.m. there's History paper due. Tomorrow at 12 p.m. there's Submit Math homework. At 3 p.m. there's Chemistry Zoom session.
Okay.
Now that you know how to plan for new routines and schedules, what's next? What else can you do to be more independent? Find your space. There may be many different types of spaces in your house. Spaces for eating, spaces for relaxing, and spaces for sleeping. You'll want to find a space that will help you concentrate on what you need to get done. Now, this might be a quiet corner in your bedroom or somewhere else in your home that is as free from distractions as possible. If you need to, you can always hang a sign on your bedroom door that says, "Please do not disturb." This way, other family members will know that you are working. What else can you do? Make your space your own and get comfortable. Do you need a comfy chair? Also, consider your own work preferences. Do you like to sit on the floor or at a table? Adjust the lights too. Do you like the lights turned down a little, or just have maybe a small lamp on when you're doing your work? This is a good time to think about what works for you. You may need to think about this for a minute and write down all of your preferences so that you know yourself and what you need. All of these things can help you be more independent and self-determined. Next, set goals for yourself. This is another way to help you feel more comfortable with doing schoolwork on your own. Setting goals is important during this difficult time. Goals help provide some direction in what feels like an out-of-control situation. You can create many different types of goals. You can set up weekly goals for yourself if you want. You can break those big weekly goals down by creating steps to complete each goal. You can even make daily goals. You can use a goal sheet or an app to help you set up what you have to accomplish and the steps that you need to get there. Creating all these goals and steps helps you see what you have achieved, and it helps you realize that you really can do this. Let's look at an example goal-setting sheet from I'm Determined. I'm Determined is a project funded by the Virginia Department of Education that focuses on helping students like you take control of their own lives and be more independent. This is an example of a goal-setting sheet from I'm Determined. You may be familiar with this goal sheet, or you have used something like it before. You can download your own at www.imdetermined.org. On this I'm Determined goal sheet, you can see there is an orange heading that says My Goal. This is a place to write or type in the goal that you are working on. This can be a daily goal or a goal for the week if you are working on a longer project. You also see a blue heading to the right that says Next Steps to Reach My Goal. This is where you can write the exact steps you need to make sure you get your work done and reach the goal you set. On the bottom left, there is a red heading that says Outcomes. This is where you will write or type what you think will happen due to finishing the goal. Finally, there is a green heading that says People who can support me to reach my goal. This is a place where you can put those people at home that will support you. Of course, you can always put yourself, because that is the ultimate goal. This is an example of a goal plan filled out with a short-term goal for the week. You can see that John has filled out his name and a start date for his goal. The goal in the box under the heading My Goal is a short-term goal. John wrote that he will read pages 1 through 20 in his history book by March 31st. He knows that he must pace himself when reading, or he will get overwhelmed with reading too many pages at once. In the column Next Steps to Complete My Goal, John lists all the things that he will need to do in order to meet the goal of reading those 20 pages. He writes the following steps as needed to be able to read 20 pages by the end of the week. Make sure I know where my history book is, put my book where I will see it and read it each day, read 5 pages each day, write history on my daily schedule so I can be sure to read my pages each day, check off how many pages I read. John also wrote 3 outcomes that would happen by meeting this goal. They are the following. I will feel less overwhelmed when I take small steps and read 5 pages each day instead of all at one time. I will be able to manage my time better and make sure I get to other subjects as well. Feeling of accomplishment and independence when all the pages are read and marked complete. Finally, under the people who can help me, John wrote, me. He is working on being independent and self-determined through goal setting. Okay, so now that we've talked about setting goals, what else can you do? Well, you can use a timer. A timer can help you stay focused. Sometimes it's hard to get started on a project if you don't know when it starts, stops, or how long it will last. In order to help tasks feel more manageable, set a timer for how long you think you can stay focused on the task. As you get more practice using a timer and staying on task, you can keep adding more time until you can sit down and complete a task all at once. There are many different kinds of timers that you might be able to find in your home and use. On the top left, there is a kitchen timer. You can set the amount of time you want by turning the plastic knob in the middle to whatever time. You can also use a digital timer. You can use a special kind of timer that uses color to show how much time is left. And you can use a timer or stopwatch on an app or a phone or a tablet. If you can't find a timer or are unsure what to use, be sure to ask your family for help and advice. We have gone over several different ways to help you be more independent at home, but there are many other things you could try or other ideas that might be helpful. The most important thing is to individualize everything. You want these routines, schedules, goals, and supports to work for you. Use what works for you and use what you have. We did not cover every possible way to get organized and prepared, or even ways to set up your workspace. So be sure to take into consideration what works for you and what you have access to in your home. And remember that what works for your sibling or your friends may not work for you. Everyone is different. This means that what your brother or sister does or what your friends do may not necessarily work for you as well. Think about your strengths and your needs and individualize everything we've talked about. We know that this time in all our lives is very strange and very stressful. Everything is different right now. While we cannot wave a magic wand and make things go back to normal, we can help you feel better in some small way. We want you to feel safe, calm, in control, and prepared. Using the tips we've talked about in this video can help. If you get stuck, be sure to ask for help from a family member, a teacher, or a friend.